Food is a basic human right. When the government decides not to provide for the people, it is up to the people to provide, and we are here to do that.
Rising to the occasion, tonight on WRTV, you'll see an inspiring effort by those working at a food pantry trying to feed so many hungry families in central Indiana. Their unique goal and the way you can help.
Honoring one of Indy's bravest, a fallen firefighter who dedicated his life to saving lives. The solemn ceremony in the special place he was laid to rest.
And then he's a familiar face here on WRTV during the month of May, and he's an even bigger name at the track. The new gig that puts Tony Kanaan behind the wheel once again.
From a station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
And now, first at 5, Thanksgiving is just days away. And tonight and over the next few days, food banks and pantries are working overtime to fill the need this holiday season. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. This year has put many people in tough situations, sometimes needing to visit food pantries for the first time to feed their families. WRTV's Stephanie Wade shows you one resource that is available and explains what it needs from the community to continue this effort.
Run out of this church, the church within. No questions asked food pantry is just what it sounds like. It's a grassroots food pantry that serves groceries, hot meals, hygiene, and cleaning supplies to anyone in need. No questions asked.
We were originally set up where people could come in and just shop when we first started, but due to COVID, we had to do the roll-up groceries.
The No Questions Asked food pantry is open Monday, Thursday, and Saturdays noon to 2 p.m. What's different about them is they don't require any photo ID or proof of address to receive any items. Car after car lined up today at the church within near Fountain Square. The pantry manager tells me the need has grown so much because of the pandemic.
We are here just to provide. The government has decided not to provide for the people, so we are here to do that. The need during the pandemic has just gone up exponentially. Like the number of people when we first started that we used to serve, that we would serve in like a month, we now serve in like a day.
The pantry says they solely rely on volunteers and donations to do what they do. With more people out of work in tough positions this year, the pantry manager tells me the need is greater than ever.
We rely heavily on folks just giving out of the kindness of their heart. So a lot of what you see behind us as far as food is direct giving. We have a Venmo, PayPal, Cash App set up where folks send us money, and that goes directly to the needs being filled.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
We'll put a link on our website to volunteer and learn more about the pantry. They need volunteers to assist with pantry operations, delivering boxes of food, taking recycling, and setting up service for pantry days. And it takes all of us to help feed those in need. And today the Colts scored a big win off the field, helping to make sure dozens of Hoosier families have a Thanksgiving meal. This is the 9th year the Colts have hosted horseshoe helpings, but of course there are changes this year because of the pandemic. Colts players and cheerleaders and dozens of socially distanced volunteers helped hand out Thanksgiving staples like turkeys and pumpkin pies. Mayor Hogsett was among those volunteers.
When partnerships like the ones that are represented here today come together, particularly over the holidays, Thanksgiving and the upcoming holidays that will be upon us next month, no one should go without a Thanksgiving Day meal, and that's what we're trying to ensure.
The Colts and U.S. Foods host the event every year. The Colts also selected 10 churches that will receive 50 meals each to give out to those who were not able to attend in person this year.
Tonight, encouraging news from a third pharmaceutical company working on producing a virus to prevent COVID-19, or vaccine rather, to prevent COVID-19. AstraZeneca says its late-stage trials show its coronavirus vaccine is up to 90% effective. The results, which were announced today, are based on an interim analysis of trials in the UK and Brazil. It's also being tested in the U.S., and the IU School of Medicine is one of the sites taking part. Two other drug makers, Pfizer and Moderna, have reported preliminary results showing that their vaccines were over 90% effective. However, the AstraZeneca-Oxford vaccine does not have to be stored at ultra-cold temperatures, making it far easier to distribute in developing countries. It's also cheaper. Now today's numbers. About 5,600 more Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Those results recorded between November 5th and yesterday. The statewide total since March is now nearly 301,000. 27 more people have died with COVID-19. Those deaths occurred between Thursday and yesterday. The statewide total is now more than 5,000 since March. The state also updated the impact on the virus on schools, many of which are returning to virtual learning because of the rising spread. There's an increase of more than 2,200 new student infections, 495 new teacher cases, and 575 new staff cases from last Monday's report. Students between the ages of 10 and 19 make up about 80% of all student cases. A reminder, this is not a complete picture. 391 schools have not reported their numbers to the state. And tomorrow at 7 p.m., we are diving deeper into the COVID crisis in Indiana. You'll hear from a 30-year-old man who survived a harrowing battle with the coronavirus, plus the candid conversations with healthcare workers who are putting their health on the line to protect you. And we're talking with experts. Everything you need to know about a potential vaccine. Our WRTV news special, Inside the COVID Crisis, airs tomorrow at 7. There's also concern this year about the double whammy of the flu and COVID-19. Tomorrow, the Marion County Health Department is holding a special flu shot clinic to reach high-risk and older residents. The drive-up clinic is tomorrow from noon to 4 at the Health Department's community building. That's at 4012 North Rural Street, 1 block north of the Health Department's main building. The no-cost clinic is designed for people with chronic medical conditions and those over the age of 65 who may not want to go out in public to get a flu shot during the pandemic. You will stay in your car to get the vaccine. You are asked to wear a short-sleeve shirt so the nurses can easily access your arm.
A solemn sight in Indianapolis today to honor a longtime public servant and fallen firefighter. Indianapolis Fire Department engineer Matthew Bennett was laid to rest at Crown Hill Cemetery. Bennett was 49 years old and assigned to IFD Engine 1. His casket was placed on that engine as it drove through the streets of Indianapolis after the private family funeral at Crown Hill. The procession made its way to IFD Station 1, where Bennett was stationed, and then back to Crown Hill for burial. On Friday, November 13th, Bennett drove Engine 1 to a possible structure collapse. Shortly after arriving on the scene, Bennett started complaining of chest pain. He died the following day at the hospital. Bennett was a veteran firefighter of 23 years, but a member of public safety for 31 years. He was laid to rest in the Heroes of Public Safety section at Crown Hill. A traffic stop can be nerve-wracking at any time, but throw in a language barrier and the situation can become complicated. Only on WRTV, Rafael Sanchez shares the video Metro Police hope helps when people see the flashing lights.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Metro Police videotaped this traffic stop demonstration for the Mexican Consulate in Indianapolis.
Así lo abren, se quedan como aquí y le hablan desde aquí.
The goal, to clear up any confusion during traffic stops and avoid any missteps that could escalate an encounter between police and people new to the country.
They've seen people get out their cars, start digging in the back, just kind of all the things that we don't want to see, because in their mind, sometimes people, like that person might be trying to get their license. They think, okay, I need to have it by the time the officer comes, and they're trying to just do what they're trying to do, while we're just going, what is this person doing? And we can perceive that as a threat. Él y yo vamos a caminar. Hey, Terry, we'll just pull this vehicle over for an infraction.
Officer Randy Diaz says keeping your license and registration in the driver's side visor is one of the best options no matter what language you speak. Diaz is focused on working with the city's immigrant communities.
Just keep calm, just work with us, we'll work with you.
The Mexican Consulate in Indianapolis is hoping the video will continue to build on understanding.
Especially when they're victims of any crimes, so they can actually report that crime. So we're trying to build that trust.
Building trust to avoid the apprehensions and anxieties from the flashing lights of a traffic stop. Working for you, Rafael Sanchez, WRTV.
No matter what language you speak, the same traffic stop rules apply. Officer Diaz previously recorded a separate video in Spanish teaching people how to safely pick up items bought or sold online. Kevin.
Sunshine this morning. We've got the clouds around this afternoon and this evening. The work week off to a dry start here. Won't stay that way. There's the veil of clouds hinting at the change that will arrive as we go through the overnight and tomorrow. There's snow in Iowa and rain as well. Could see a few inches of snow northeast Iowa, portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota. For us, potentially a wintry mix tomorrow, but temperatures will be above freezing, which will keep the roads just wet. 42 right now in Peru. Other temperatures, Indy in the lower 40s. A little bit warmer, Terre Haute, Bloomington, and Columbus. Metro area temperatures a little below average. 48 is our average high this time of year. Overnight, you see how our rain chances go up. When we wake up in the morning, especially north of Indy, we may have a little rain, snow, and even some sleet mixing in before it changes to all rain. We'll talk about what's ahead for the rest of the week coming up.
Now to Democracy 2020. President-elect Joe Biden is moving forward, naming some of his top cabinet members and advisors, including his picks for Secretary of State and UN Ambassador, even adding a familiar face to the list. As ABC's Faith Abube reports, his march forward continues, even as President Trump continues blocking his formal transition process.
President-elect Joe Biden revealing the first wave of his national security team, confirming career foreign policy official Tony Blinken as Secretary of State and experienced Foreign Service retiree Linda Thomas Greenfield as UN Ambassador. Biden also making history as he names the first Latino to serve as DHS Secretary and first woman to be Director of National Intelligence. Former Secretary of State John Kerry also joining the Biden foreign policy and national security team as climate czar. The decisions, the latest sign President-elect Joe Biden is moving at record speed, forming his administration, even as President Trump blocks his formal transition process.
Why do you go with national security first? Because it's national security.
Just 58 days from Inauguration Day, President Trump still making baseless claims about the election results. In Georgia, asking for a third count of the ballots.
I understand that there are people out there who are upset, who are listening to people who are also upset, but has so far shown a lack of evidence, at least in this state, of any widespread issues.
In court, the president's legal team failing to provide any evidence of voter fraud. Judge after judge, including one in Pennsylvania this weekend, tossing out their request to overturn millions of votes without proof of rampant corruption.
The president's legal team has been a national embarrassment.
Frustrated Republicans, including staunch Trump supporters like Senator Rob Portman, now calling on the president to begin the transition process. The senator writing in an op-ed, quote, "The initial determination showing Joe Biden with enough electoral votes to win has not changed." This as Pennsylvania and Michigan prepare to certify their election results, which would put more electoral college votes squarely in Biden's column.
The president-elect and VP-elect met virtually with the U.S. Conference of Mayors this afternoon. Biden told them he wants a real partnership between the cities and the federal government. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Well, Biden is expected to introduce each of his latest cabinet nominees tomorrow. Still ahead on WRTV, a transition in IndyCar. Tony Kanaan told us he didn't want the nearly fanless 2020 season to be his last. Well, it won't. Big news from one of IndyCar's most popular drivers.
Plus, forget the reindeer. It's all about the mouse, helping deliver presents this year. A breakdown of the best deals out there as more and more people shop online for those Black Friday bargains.
A huge recall, an expensive recall announced today for General Motors. GM will recall and repair nearly 6 million big pickup trucks and SUVs equipped with potentially dangerous Takata airbag inflators. The decision announced today by the National Transportation Safety Administration will cost GM an estimated $1.2 billion. GM says it will not fight the recall and that it will also repair another 1 million vehicles worldwide. The company has petitioned for the agency 4 times since 2016 to avoid a recall, claiming the inflators are safe. Well, 27 people have been killed worldwide by the exploding inflators. Black Friday isn't just one day this year. In fact, sales are happening right now online. But how do you know when the best deals will be? Consumer reporter John Matarese breaks down the best days to shop so you don't waste your money.
This is it, Black Friday week 2020, during a year when everything's been turned upside down. So should you shop now, on Friday, or wait till even later? No lines, no crowds, with stores closed Thanksgiving night, but that makes timing Black Friday tough. Best Buy, Target, and Kohl's started their biggest sales Sunday morning, but all of them will add new deals on Thanksgiving Day online. At Walmart, the key time to shop is Wednesday at 7 p.m., the night before Thanksgiving. That's when Walmart's hottest deals go online, such as 70-inch TVs for below $500. Do you want kitchen gadgets like air fryers and Instant Pots? Well, Thursday and Friday will bring the biggest sales on those. Plus, on Friday, you'll be able to shop in store. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, one item you should buy the instant you find it. Never mind, it's not on sale. We're talking Microsoft's new Xbox Series X and Sony's new PS5, which have sold out instantly. The PS5 is now selling for as much as $1,600 on eBay. The Xbox Series X over $1,000. Doesn't that stink? If you see one at the list price of $499, buy it immediately. Finally, if you're looking for clothing or toys, don't worry. Prices on those items usually drop around December 15th. And that way you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, WRTV.
Another IndyCar fan favorite will be getting back on track for part of the 2021 season. Longtime WRTV driver analyst Tony Kanaan announced today he is joining Chip Ganassi Racing. Kanaan will be driving the number 48 car in the 4 oval events on the schedule, including the Indy 500. 7-time NASCAR champ Jimmy Johnson will be in the 48 on the street and road courses. 2020 was supposed to be TK's farewell tour, but the chance to come back with the Ganassi team came at the right time. Kanaan drove for CGR from 2014 to 2017.
As a race car driver, you want to race for the best team, for the winning team. They have proven on and off that, they're one of the top teams to beat. And then as a race car driver, being selfish, that's where you want to be. It doesn't matter who you talk to. You want to be in a winning team in a big organization that has a lot of resources and so on. So it's not a hard decision. You know what I mean? I think you're asking a kid if he wants to go for an ice cream.
Well, the deal is for the 2021 and 2022 seasons. Along with Indy, TK will race at Texas and Gateway Motorsports Park. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. And it was great to see the sun today, but did not provide a whole lot of warmth, Kevin.
No, but dry and cool is better than dry and wet, right? We find the gray lining in everything. You can see just a thin strip there where there's some breaks in the cloud cover, but a lot of people took advantage of that dry weather early in the day and some early day sunshine, whether it's just walking in the canal, not in the canal, that would be cold, on the canal, next to the canal, walking downtown, you know what I mean. A decent day for that. It wasn't too windy either. The clouds around now, and this is a big travel week in central Indiana. We've got some rain, maybe mixing with some snow and sleet tomorrow morning. Should not be a big deal, though, thanks to temperatures, and then a larger rain event for Wednesday. Tuesday temperatures, they'll struggle. They'll probably stay in the 40s all day long. We warm on Wednesday. That's the warmest day in my forecast as temperatures shoot close to 60 degrees. Dry on Thanksgiving with temperatures back into the low to mid 50s. Probability of rain. Tomorrow morning, 30 to 40%. And it's a little higher north of Indy, but it's basically a morning event. Then we'll dry out. Set the stage for rain to return, even some thunderstorms on Wednesday. The probability of any severe weather is low. Looks like that'll stay southwest of the Hoosier State. Then we're dry for several days until a chance of rain on Sunday. As I showed you off the top of the news, off to the west is where the moisture is, whether it's snow in Iowa or some rain in northern Missouri and southeast Iowa. We'll wait until after midnight for that to arrive. We go through the overnight hours, see the pink mixing with the green. That's a rain-snow mix. Could be some sleet pellets mixed in there. Notice how that's lifting northeast. By the time we get to 8 a.m., Lafayette to Muncie, and then pushing northeast from there through mid to late morning. Temperatures, they'll recover only into the middle to upper 40s during the afternoon. We'll hold on to the cloud cover most of the day. But again, the most likely time for any mix or rain will be the morning hours. As we go to Wednesday, we turn our attention to a surge in warmth. Any thunderstorms are most likely, I should say stronger storms, most likely in Illinois and extreme southwest Indiana. We'll keep our eye on that. Wind out of the south at 30 miles per hour. That warm wind pushes our temperature close to 60 degrees. We may see an inch of rain, if not a little more. Another widespread rain event Wednesday. That moistens things up. Moist turkey is good, right? 54 on Thanksgiving Day, dry. Then as we go to Friday, Saturday, temperatures cooling back down, but we're still dry into the first half of the weekend. We'll give it a chance for rain as we get to Sunday. All in all, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Thank you, Kevin. Well, it's not a very happy time for this time of year for turkeys, but there are two birds who are in a spot their feathered friends would certainly envy. We'll tell you about the two turkeys who will soon be in the spotlight.
Well, they may not have much in common, but one thing that President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden do have in common is that they don't drink alcohol. However, there will soon be a new beer coming your way with Joe Biden's name on it. The drink is called Rail Car 1. It's to commemorate Delaware's favorite son and his presidential win. Wilmington Brew Works created the IPA and used an Amtrak train car decked out like Air Force One as the artwork. President-elect Biden would take Amtrak between Wilmington, Delaware and Washington, D.C. every day as a senator so he could spend his nights at home. Rail Car 1 will be released December 7th, which is Delaware Day.
We haven't seen much of President Trump since the election, but the White House says he will take part in the traditional turkey pardon tomorrow in the Rose Garden. The lucky birds, dubbed Corn and Cob, received a red carpet welcome when they arrived over the weekend from their farm in Wolcott, Iowa, where they hatched in July. Until the big moment, they are living in the lap of luxury at the Willard Intercontinental Hotel in D.C. The turkey pardon by a president is a tradition that has been going on for decades.
Interesting.
Well, all new at 6 p.m. hitting a huge milestone much sooner than they ever expected. How the pandemic has caused an even deeper demand for this effort ahead at 6. And still an incredibly violent weekend in Indianapolis. Next at 5:30, police are asking for your help in one of the 5 deadly shootings.